Welcome. So we're going to move for 45 minutes today. We'll actually start in a heart opening pose, extended puppy pose. So if you want to make your way there, I'll meet you on your mat. I'm Ariel Leon, by the way. Thanks for joining. 45 minutes, heart opening flow. Make your way into extended puppy pose. Okay. So with extended puppy pose, have your knees underneath your hips, but extend your arms long out in front of you. With your arms stretched out, your knees under your hips, your thigh bones are vertical. You could just be lazy about it at the beginning. Let your forehead rest. Let your chest melt toward your mat. Imagine the hands and the knees wanted to fold the floor in half, pushing down and gathering in. My intention for this month is reflection. And to begin to integrate this intention, I think about a baby seeing its reflection for the first time, or my dog witnessing his reflection for the first time. It was so cute, but it's all just about awareness. So imagine you're seeing yourself for the first time, just checking it out. What's going on the mat today? How's the breath? How does the body feel? See if there are any thoughts that have trickled into your room, into your practice, onto your mat. And just shining your light of awareness on them at first. And if there is anything that's holding you back, imagine opening up the front door of your heart and just letting it melt down into the ground. Now, if you're in that more passive version of the pose, invite a little more strength. Press into the inner palms, your index fingers, your thumbs, that whole L shape. Tighten up the arms, squeeze muscle to bone, let the elbows hover. Hug the lower ribs in as well, like you're doing cat pose. One more deep breath. And then pressing into your hands, look forward and slither into Sphinx pose. So the elbows stay on the ground and eventually your pelvis lands. Scoot your elbows forward a little bit so they stack underneath your shoulders. And then do a shoulder shrug, scoop them up by the ears, squeeze the shoulders on the back, and then press the floor down with your forearms and try to pull the floor back. Now grounding into all 10 toenails, especially your pinky toenails, spread them out, root them down. Let your heels widen slightly. And as you turn on the quads, add a little length in your tail, lifting the low belly. The front of the waistband might even lift up off the mat. Keeping the pubic bone grounded, you could stay like that. Or if your spine is open for it right now, you can start to lengthen through your arms. From Sphinx pose into seal. Keep pulling the floor back, open up through your heart, press through your toenails, one more breath. Exhale, go slow, let the elbows land, and then fold the palms one on top of the other underneath your forehead. Relax here in crocodile pose. Just 2 more breaths into the back body. And then we'll open up the shoulders a little bit more. Keep that bend in your left elbow. Just open your left elbow out to the sides so it's coming straight to the left of your shoulder. Fingertips pointing forward. Now with your right hand underneath your right shoulder, kick your right heel towards your seat and then start to roll over onto your left arm, your left hip. The right toes might touch the ground behind you. Add a spiral with your left hand so the thumb is pointing at the ceiling and the pinky finger is pressing into the floor. Breathing into the front of your heart, 2 more. And then roll onto your stomach, switch out your arms, take the right elbow out to the right. Roll over onto your right arm, your right hip. Your head can rest on a block or the floor. Just breathe into your chest. Last round. Now return to your stomach. Take your fingertips off the mat and point your elbows upwards towards the sky for some spider cobras. Now pressing into your fingertips, start to lift your head, your heart, roll your shoulders back, look up. And then as you lower down, bring your right ear towards the ground. Do that again. Press into your fingertips, lift your head, your chest, loop your shoulders back. Exhale, turn your other cheek to the mat. 2 more rounds. Inhale, lift your heart. And as you look to the left, allow your right shoulder to dip forward. Inhale, roll back up. Exhale, look to the right. Left shoulder is going to roll forward. Inhale to rise. Exhale, look to the left. Look over your left shoulder. Inhale, rise. Other side. Look over the right shoulder and let the left one dip. Now inhale as you come back up. Stay high up on your fingertips. Loop your shoulders back. Press into the tops of your feet. 1 more breath. Exhale. Go slow to release, heart to the mat. Glide your hands up underneath your shoulders so you can rise onto your hands and your knees, rounding your spine, cat pose. Press the ground away. Inhale for cow shape. Look up, sway your heart towards the earth. Exhale, press and round. Feel free to add any variations. You can flip your wrists or spiral your spine. Take 1 more deep breath. Exhale, press. Now creating a neutral spine, shoulders back, ribs in. Walk the hands forward a finger's distance. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, lengthen through your legs. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Honor your line along the spine. Let the knees bend so you can find that lifting your tail, drawing in of the low ribs. Rounding into the thumb and the index finger, the inner line of the palm again. But even with that root, the triceps wrap away from one another. Take 1 more deep breath. Exhale. Rise onto your tippy toes. Look up toward your hands. Exhale, bend your knees and then walk forward or do a little hop. Have your feet hips width apart. Inhale to extend halfway up. Now exhale, fold forward. Let the knees bend. Interlace your hands behind your back, right where your waistband is. And then start to extend through the arms as you lift the fists up and overhead. Relax your head, shake it out if that feels good. 1 more breath. Relax your palms down. Keep that bend in your knees and slowly round and rise all the way up to standing. Keep your arms heavy. Just shrug your shoulders back and down. Exhale. Inhale, swoop your palms forward to go up. Hands into heart. Pause. Close your eyes. Set an intention for your practice today. With this heart-opening flow, maybe there's someone you want to dedicate your practice to. Someone you want to send a little love to. Just call them into mind and devote every breath to them. Take 1 more round. Breathe out. Inhale, watch your prayer rise up into the sky. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive. Inhale, lengthening halfway up. Hands can be on shins or thighs. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank pose. Pause for 1 breath in, high at the plank. Exhale, chaturanga, fold your elbows about 90 degrees. Inhale, flip to the tops of your feet, lift your heart, up dog. Exhale, drawing navel to spine, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And a smooth breath out. Now stretch your right leg high on the inhale. Draw your knee to your nose on the exhale. Again, inhale, kick the right leg to the sky. Exhale, tap your nose, navel to spine. One more, big kick, breathe in. Exhale, big step through. Take your hands to your hips and then rise up into a lunge. Breathe in, roll your shoulders back and then hover the left knee an inch above the mat. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Last 4, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, get low. Feel your shoulders draw back, squeeze them together behind you. Last 2, imagine your tailbone pulling you down. Last time to rise. Now stay low in that lunge. Draw your tailbone towards the floor and then take your elbows wide like that cactus we did before. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, start to tilt your heart up towards the sky. Feel the right big toe pushing down and the ball mound, and maybe the right heel starts to hover off the ground. Deepen the back knee. Turn your heart up towards the ceiling. Take one more breath. Good. Inhale, re-extend your left leg, both arms up overhead. Exhale, plant your palms, step it back, high plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. You choose baby cobra or up dog. We'll always meet back at the downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, tap your nose. Inhale, big kick. Exhale, big knee to nose. One more time. Kick it high. Exhale, step your foot through between your thumbs. Hands to the hips, go slow to rise. Exhale, soften the back knee an inch above the earth. Inhale, squeeze the inner thighs towards the midline as you rise. Exhale, 4. Breathe in. 3. Inhale. 2. Last time to rise. Now stay in that low version of your lunge. Squeeze the inner thighs towards the midline. And as you take your elbows wide, squeeze the shoulder blades to the midline. With that midline strength, let the heart turn up towards the sky. Press into the tippy toes of the front foot and maybe the heel lifts, finding that float. Deepen the back knee. One more breath. Nice. Ground the front heel. Lengthen the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step it back, high plank. Inhale. Chaturanga, squeeze through your knees. Let that continue through your up dog. Breathe in. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in. Smooth breath out. Enjoy 2 more rounds. Last one. Exhale. Inhale, lift your heels, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, breathe. Fold forward, exhale. Coming all the way up, reach arms overhead. Exhale, hands to chest. Pause for a moment, bring your big toes together. Keep your heels slightly separated. Now on your next breath in, reach your hands forward in front of your shoulders. Exhale, bend your knees, swing your arms behind you like airplane wings. And let that help you move your hips back, weight in the heels. Lengthen your tailbone, lift the front of your waistband, and then let the arms travel forward or up by the ears. Sink a little deeper. Take another breath in. Now drawing your hands to heart center, twist to your right. Hook your left elbow outside your right thigh. Press right hand firmly into left. Turn your heart up towards your thumbs. Gaze up at the sky. And feel your left hip hug back, your left knee hug back. Sit a little deeper. Exhale. Stay in your chair. Just unwind the twist. Arms up by the ears on the in-breath. Other side. Exhale. Twist to your left. Right elbow hooks outside the left thigh. Find that equal and opposite force. From left hand to right. Right elbow to left knee. And then turn the eyes. Last breath. Nice. Unwind the spine. Arms up by the ears. Utkatasana. Exhale. Folding forward. Lengthen through your legs. Inhale. Halfway lift. Exhale. Plant your palms. Step or float. You can also skip your chaturanga push-up and move straight into the down dog pose. Exhale to get there. Take 2 more breaths to lengthen your spine after that twist. Now inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Exhale, draw right knee to nose, shoulders over wrist, just one time. Inhale, big kick, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot between your thumbs. Inhale to rise up, high lunge. Now with the elbows open wide, deepen both knees, option to hover the front heel just for the exhale. Inhale, re-extend, high lunge, ground your heel. And then spin the left heel to the ground. Bend your arms wide, warrior 2, press apart. Now inhale as you lengthen through your front leg, bring your hands together in front of your chest. Exhale, rebend through the right knee, arms wide to a T. Do that again. Inhale, gather into your heart. Exhale, share what's in your heart out there into the world. 2 more. Inhale to lengthen. Option to lift your right toes. Exhale, like you're peeling your rib cage open. 1 more. Awesome. Stay low in your warrior 2. Exhale. Lift your right arm up over your head with this focus of heart openers. I invite you to add a half bind with your left arm across your lower back. If you can feel your right thigh with your left hand, try to push your right thigh down and forward while you reach up and back with the right arm. Now you're more than welcome to keep the half bind as you rise up through warrior 2 and find your side angle pose. The right elbow can rest on the right thigh, or the hand can make its way down to the block or the ground. If you're working through the half bind, see if you can wiggle your fingers a little deeper towards the inner thigh. And you can add a neck stretch, drawing the right ear towards the right shoulder. Add a sway with the chin. Or maybe you're craving the full bind today. Weaving right forearm under right thigh. You have to untuck your left fingers in order to find them. And pull down on that left arm. Okay, 1 more breath. Exhale. Okay, coming up to the warrior 2 on the in-breath. Just unwind all of it. Awesome. Cartwheel your hands to the floor. Lengthen back to plank pose, or maybe 3-limbed plank with the right leg floating in space. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Other side, lift the left leg. Exhale, touch your nose with your knee, make contact. Inhale, big kick. Exhale, step it through. Strong inner thighs, rise, high lunge. Open your elbows wide, bend your right knee, get low, maybe lifting the left heel. Inhale, re-extend, arms to the sky. Spin your right heel to the ground, warrior 2, breathe out. Inhale, lengthen your front leg, hands to heart. Exhale, press apart, bend the left knee. Again, inhale to lengthen, option to lift your left toes. Exhale, warrior 2. As you straighten through that front leg, sway your left hip forward and then bend the left knee so you find that symmetry in your hip bones. Last one, inhale to lengthen. Exhale, stick the landing. Watch your left palm rise, reverse your warrior. Adding the half bind, if you did that on the other side. Right arm behind the back. Maybe pressing the left thigh down and forward. 1 more breath. Okay. Inhale, coming through warrior 2. Exhale for your version of side angle pose. Take your time. Doesn't have to match the same as the other side. Stay with the breath. Gradually exploring your depth. 3 more deep breaths. 2. 1. Well done. Inhale to unwind back up to the warrior 2. Inhale. All the way down. Plant your palms. Lengthen through plank or 3-limbed plank. Choosing chaturanga. Exhale. Up dog. Breathe in. Downward dog. Breathe out. Nice long breath in. Smooth exhale. 2 more. Last one. Inhale, lift the heels, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, walk or hop to the top. Inhale, halfway up, big toes touch. Exhale, fold forward. Sit back into chair pose, bend your knees, curl your tailbone towards the floor. Hands can be forward or up by the ears. Let your hips move back, weight in the heels. Then bend your knees even deeper to bring weight back into the ball mounds of your feet. Now keeping the ankles and knees together, start to rise onto your tippy toes. Bring your chest low, hover right above the thigh bones so both are parallel to the earth. Extend your arms forward, take a breath in. And then let the knees widen as you take your hands to the floor, coming into Bakasana perhaps. Rest your knees on your upper arm bones, look forward. Squeeze your feet together and then pull your heels in towards your seat for 3. Look forward for 2. Last one. Exhale, step your feet back or shoot your feet back, Chaturanga. Inhale through up dog. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Nice deep breath. Smooth exhale. Now we'll build on that flow we just did. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, tap your knee to your nose, navel to spine. Inhale, big kick, right leg high. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Rise, high lunge, breathe in. Open your elbows wide, hover your left knee an inch above the earth, maybe the right heel lifts. Inhale, re-extend arms to the sky. Find your warrior 2 on the breath out, and then pulse your right leg long 1 time, hands to heart. Exhale, press the room apart. Right arm lifts on the in-breath, reverse your warrior. Side angle pose on the out-breath. Inhale, coming up through warrior 2. Now we'll add a twist. Take your left hand to the floor, just inside of the right foot, and swing your right hand up towards the sky. Pivot the back heel off the mat, and find your steady twist. Eyes look up at the right thumb. Turn on the quad of that left leg and the glute. Roll your shoulders back, and pivot into side plank. You can come to the outer edge of your left foot and stack the right foot on top, or bend your left knee to the mat, and then lengthen the right foot to the back. Eyes could be down, to the side, or straight up at the sky. But your next pose is going to be a wild thing. So take your time, hover the right foot, step it behind you, spin your heart up towards the ceiling, and drape your left shoulder blade back and down. Get long through your right arm, open up your heart, 1 more round. Beautiful. Flip around, 3-limbed plank pose, inhale. 3-limbed chaturanga, exhale. Find the up dog on the in-breath. Downward facing dog for the out breath. Other side, lift the left leg to the sky. Touch your knee to your nose 1 time. Inhale, big kick, left leg high. Exhale, big step through, strong inner thighs. Rise, high lunge. Open your elbows, hover your back knee, maybe the left heel. Inhale, re-extend. Right heel to the mat, arms go wide. Lengthen your left leg, hands to the heart. Exhale, share what's in your heart. Left arm high, reverse your warrior, breathe in. Side angle variation of your choice, just for the exhale. Coming back up for warrior 2, breathe in. Now twist, circle your right hand to the floor and your left hand towards the sky. Spin your back heel off your mat and then turn on the quad, the glute, fire it up. Rolling shoulders back and down. Let the arms integrate into the torso before you find side plank. Pivot to the outer edge of your right foot. Stack the left one on top. Or bend the right knee to the floor. Stack it under your hip. Press, press, press. Maybe the eyes look up. Last breath. Left foot steps back. Wild thing. Turn your heart up towards the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach for 3, 2, 1. Nice. Flip yourself over, 3-limbed plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, 3-limbed chaturanga. Up dog on the in-breath, and then you choose child's pose or downward facing dog. Let it go. Coming back to that practice of reflection. Becoming aware What do you see? What do you feel? Before you make any judgments or criticisms, just be aware. Two more. Now from child's pose or downward facing dog, make your way to a seat. You can jump your feet through or swing your heels aside. I'll meet you in boat pose. So hips right in the middle of the mat, hands can be behind your thighs. Roll your shoulders back, lift your heart, and then lean back. Lift your feet, but make the big toes touch, and the arms can reach alongside the shins. Take a breath in. Feel that exhale in the abdomen, breathe out a lot. Inhale. Exhale, come into a low boat. Hover your heels, hover your shoulders. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, take it low. Inhale, get high. Exhale for 3. Inhale to rise. Exhale, 2. Inhale, lift. Exhale, 1. Rise up this one last time. Now when you get low, yoga bicycles, hands behind the head, right elbow to the left knee. Inhale through center, left elbow to the right knee. Inhale through center. Nice. Stay with the breath. Exhaling every time you twist. Whenever we do heart openers, also known as back bends, it's really important to have a strong core so we can integrate everything to the midline rather than rely on our superficial muscles or joints. So give it 3 more rounds. Right, left, right, left. Last cycle. Right, left. Awesome. Now take your feet to the ground with your knees bent, arms by your sides. Go ahead and lift your hips up off the floor. Stretch your abdominals from the inside. You can leave your hands the way they are, or you can interlace your hands behind your back. Let it feel good to breathe into the belly, feel it expand, and retract. Meanwhile, the heels and the big toes push the floor forward. Narrow your knees, lengthen through your tail. 3 more. 2. Last big breath. Good. Release your interlaced hands, relax your back. Just make your feet go as wide as your mat and sway the knees side to side a few times. And reflect on how the spine feels at this point in your practice, because you could choose to redo a bridge, or perhaps you're inspired to find full wheel. Before we move into our next pose, just reconsider your intention. Whether you dedicated your practice to someone or just focusing on this heart opening, devote everything in this next posture to that. All your attention, your breath. Start with an exhale. Inhale, lift your hips. Option to interlace your hands or bring your hands back by your ears, fingers pointing toward your shoulders. Come onto the tippy toes and then the crown of your head. Narrow your knees and your elbows and then lift your head up off the floor. Press into your tippy toes, open up your shoulders, your heart. Maybe the heels come back onto the mat. Last 4. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Chin to chest, go slow, come on down. The feet go wide, knees tick-tock side to side. When you had enough of those tick-tocks, hug your knees into your chest, hold on to your kneecaps, rock around, massage your back into your mat. Reverse the direction of your rock. And then rock yourself forward and back, holding onto your thighs. See if you can rock yourself up into a standing forward fold. If you need to use your hands, that's fine. Otherwise, do it without. And then when you get there, have a soft bend in your knees, feet hips width apart. Just let your head dangle. You can grab opposite elbows if the floor is far away. Nice. So now let the knees bend, round your spine, roll yourself up to standing. Scoop your shoulders back and down, breathe out. And then just take a step back to turn and face the long edge of your mat. Have your toes pointing in, your heels pointing out. Inhale, float your arms wide, look up. Exhale, swan dive, wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. Now you can hold on to your ankles, you can put your hands on the floor or blocks, or if you feel like inverting today, go ahead, come into your tripod headstand, just do it safely. That's with the head on the ground, elbows right over the wrists, the feet straddle wide, big toes towards the sky. Always protect your neck. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Push your hands through the floor. Take another 2 breaths. And then with the feet on the ground, let the hands travel forward so you can lengthen halfway up. Begin to heel toe your feet towards one another, but keep them about outer hips distance apart. All right, now feet are outer hips distance apart. Bend your right knee. Keep your left leg straight. Then take your right hand to the mat underneath your chin and lift the left arm up. Great place to stay. Or you can add a half bind with the left arm wrapping across your lower back, just like we did before in that reverse warrior. Now you can stay there or find the full bind. Reach your right arm between your legs and then untuck your left fingertips so you can wrap the right arm across behind the right thigh and find the left hand. Now staying like that in the bind, or we'll find bird of paradise. Bend your knees, shift all the weight onto your left foot, and slowly draw the right toes in towards the midline as you lengthen the standing leg. If you find your steadiness with the standing leg straight, then consider lengthening the floating foot. Feel your shoulders squeeze on your back. Use those rhomboid muscles. One more breath. Okay, if you're in the bird of paradise, go ahead, fold forward. We'll meet in a ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows, sway side to side. Nice, then finding those feet at hips width apart, a little wider. Lengthen through your spine, this time left hand on the floor beneath your chin, and then bend the left knee. Right arm's gonna lift, breathe in. Add the half bind if you like, right arm across the low back. Or the full bind, left arm between the thighs, wrapping around the left thigh. Grabbing onto the right wrist or hand, you can stay there or bend both knees a lot, as if you could evenly distribute the weight between your 2 feet. Then you could get all the weight over onto the right foot, and then the left toes draw in towards the midline as you rise. The shoulders pinching on the back, just help keep the leg connected to the torso. And then you can stretch through the left leg for 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Come back to that ragdoll shape, grabbing opposite elbows at a sway. And then you can just sway your pendulum swing into a plank. Walk the hands one way, the feet go back the other way. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Cycle through upward dog, breathe in. Exhale, take it back down, dog pose. Well done. Take a long breath in. Satisfying exhale. 2 more. Last breath. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, pigeon pose, right shin behind the wrists. Stretch your left heel straight back in line with your left hip. Take a breath in, and then exhale as you walk your hands forward. You can rest your head on your hands or your block. You can also lie on your back, cross right ankle over left thigh for a little more support. I'll give you the option to add king pigeon in a few breaths. For now, just relax, sink into your hips. Now, king pigeon is a back bend and a quad stretch. So if you're craving that today, go ahead and walk your hands up a little bit early. It's going to be your left hand that reaches back for your left foot, which is usually when you start to roll over onto the right hip. So press your right shin down into the floor. Lift your right hip up off the ground. And then you could point the left hip bone forward and match it with the right one. Drawing the left heel towards your seat. Maybe the toes slide into your elbow crease and the hands clasp up overhead. You're using your right hamstring to help lift your hips. Lengthen your tail. 3 more breaths, wherever you're at. 2, 1. Nicely done. Now, coming out of your pigeon pose or your king pigeon, you can come through a 3-legged tabletop or 3-legged dog with the option to flip into your wild thing, or maybe you flip all the way around a full wheel. You have to let your left elbow bend so you can spin your fingertips around. Just take a breath when you get there. And then pivoting on that left ball mound of your hand, spiral back around, 3-legged dog. Eventually the right foot lands on the ground, shift all your weight into it, and lift the left. Exhale, left shin behind the wrists, or roll on your back, cross ankle over thigh. Find your seat, take a breath when you arrive. Exhale, settle in. Like a still pond, reflecting. It's the same analogy for enlightenment. When the pond is still, then you can notice when those droplets, those ripples, those waves arrive, becoming aware of them, but also determining which wave you want to ride. Now, if you added the king pigeon on the other side, ride that wave back up. Then the right hand can reach back for the right foot. Pull your heel in towards your seat. Beware, notice if you're rolling onto your left hip, and then integrate, drawing that left shin through the floor, lifting through the hips, right hip crease drives forward, and then maybe the hands clasp. As long as you're breathing okay, give it 3 more. Awesome. Then the hands can travel to the mat. Tuck your back toes. Lift your left thigh, 3-legged tabletop or 3-legged dog or wild thing. Let your right elbow bend, swivel around. Come onto the tippy toes of your feet. That'll help you travel around towards the wheel pose. And then spinning back around, push off your left toes. Downward facing dog. Just take a deep breath. Equalize the weight in all 4 paws. And you can practice your jump through or bend your knees to the ground. Make your way to a seat with your legs extended out in front of you. To counter our heart opening, we'll do a forward fold. Bend your knees to start. Walk your sitting bones back. Lift your arms up, and then maybe the legs lengthen, like the back of your knees could push into the mat. Exhale, fold forward. No attachment to what you grab, toes, ankles, shins. It's all good. Just breathe into your back body for 5 breaths. Last 2 breaths. On your next inhale, round your spine as you roll back up. You can take your hands towards the mat by your hips so you can scoot your hips forward, and holding on to the back of your legs, allow your spine to round as you roll onto the ground. Hug your knees in when you get there. Open the knees, come into a happy baby. Holding onto your feet or your inner thighs, you can add a rock side to side. Just try to keep your sacrum grounded. And then drawing the knees together again. Keep your right knee in your arms. Lengthen your left leg all the way long. Twist your right knee across your chest over towards the left and scoot your left hip under your right hip. The right arm can open to the right as you look to the right. Very nice. And then slowly coming around to center, take a breath in, both knees in. Exhale to switch. Keep the left leg in your arms. Twist the left knee over towards the right. Scooch right hip under left, and then the left arm opens to the side. Turn your eyes to the left. Beautiful. Coming back around to center. Hug your knees in, wrap your arms around your shins, lift your head up off the ground, round everything. Take a deep breath in. Exhale to release into your Shavasana, corpse pose. Now if you have a pillow you want to place underneath your knees, that can help with any back tension. You can also lean into this heart opening by putting blocks underneath your heart space. Take a moment to settle in. As if your yoga mat was a mirror or that still pond, let it help you reflect who's on the mat now. Is there anything you could let go of in your jaw or your shoulders? In the back of your neck? As you rest a couple minutes more, give yourself permission to reflect. Explore all the different parts of you. And like you're meeting yourself for the first time with curiosity and acceptance. Slowly allow your breaths to deepen. And as your toes and fingers come alive, like you're moving into this reflection, this version of you you've observed and become aware of. Lengthen the arms overhead, take your time. But after a nice long stretch, drape your body to one side and allow your head to rest on your arm. Choosing which wave to ride. Maybe you want to wait out the waves, coming back to that still place. But whenever you're ready to rise, do so with purpose, with intention. And hold that intention in your palms, or that dedication. Bowing inwards, honor yourself for choosing to practice today. We'll take one more breath together. Inhale deeply. Exhale. The light in me honors the divine light within you. Thank you very much. Namaste.